about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and here he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skill by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett, and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello, viewers out there. You're welcome once again to Sports Orbit. This is the Friday edition and the last for the week. My name is Alpha Acho. Fidelis, once again, is here. Fidelis, you haven't been on this show for quite a while now.
Quite a while, seriously.
Mm.
Good afternoon, sports fans out there. So unfortunate I haven't been on the show, but then, like you always say, it's a comeback.
Yeah.
And it's good to be back on the show again.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you on the show.
Thank you, Alpha.
Right, we'll begin straight from the NFF, where at the end of the annual general meeting held yesterday in Lagos, delegates at the annual general assembly actually have scheduled the NFF elections to hold September 30th in Benin City, Edo State. The decision to hold the election in Benin City was among some of the major highlights that transpired in that assembly. So with that date now, the tenure of Amaju Pinnick will effectively end in September. His 8-year tenure will end in September, and come September 30th, 2002, hopefully football lovers across Nigeria and football stakeholders will be having a new president to oversee the affairs of the federation for the next 4 years. So, Fidelis, NFF elections holding, initially rumors were that, not even just rumors, the Amaju Pinnick-led board had written to FIFA hoping to extend their tenure till January. But as a result, even this General Assembly was not even supposed to hold because of some underground dealings. But some of the stakeholders, a lot of them stood their ground and insisted that the AJA must hold. And once the AJA holds, definitely a date for election will be set. So 30th September will be date for election. So the rumored third-term bid for Amaju Pinnick, which he came to say he's no longer interested, come end of September, Pinnick will be stepping aside.
Well, in the first place, if everything had been going smoothly, I don't think there would have been any reason for even calling for an extension or whatsoever. And 8 years is not 8 days
at all.
It's not even 8 hours. 8 years. If you count that in days, how many thousands of days he's been there as the NFF president. And why he was the president of the NFF. A lot has really happened. A lot has really happened. And personally, I would say his tenure coming to an end. At this point, I can say a lot of Nigerians will not miss him. Sure, a lot of Nigerians will not miss him. Going by all that happened within the 8 years of his tenure, I would just hope that come that September 20th, the election will really hold as planned, and then we can get to see a new person emerge, the president of NFF. I would just hope whoever it would be, the president of NFF, we just hope that the person would do better than what the Amaju Pinnick administration did. A lot of there might be some positives from his administration, but then I think there are lots of things that we will not forget in a hurry in these 8 years of his administration. So we just hope the election holds we just pray for the best person to become the next president of the NFF.
I mean, like you clearly said, when you begin to talk of things that he achieved in this during his tenure, some might have a different view. Like some of us, some have actually said Pinnick is, one of the worst presidents of the federation because under his tenure, Nigeria failed to qualify for the Nations Cup twice. Under his tenure, Nigeria has failed to win at senior level to win anything significant. Nothing. It's same under his tenure. Nigeria exited in the second round of the AFCON. In fact, I can't remember the last time Nigeria exited out of in the second round. The minimum Nigeria gets to is quarterfinal, which was once or twice. A lot of times we always end up in the last four. Whenever we're going for an AFCON, we are always sure of at least coming back with a bronze. But under Amaju, they missed out on the Nations Cup twice.
Sure.
So his tenure, a lot of people have said, look, you cannot really say these 8 years has been successful.
It hasn't really been fruitful,
exactly. And he's the first president in a long while to spend 2 terms in office.
8 years, It's even surprising that the whole idea of a third term even came into play in the first place. Considering all that has happened, that idea shouldn't have even come in at all. For a third term. And if you decide to place the positives and the negatives side by side of all that has happened in his administration as the NFF president, I think I can confidently say that the negatives would outweigh the positive, and like you rightly pointed, there has been no significant achievement within his 8 years of leadership in the NFF, so I think it's time he gives way for another person to come in and take over the affairs of the NFF.
Well, yeah, clearly it's time for him to give way, and of course a couple of tested people have been signifying their intention, especially a couple of ex-players, which is, something that's cheering people like Peter Peterside, a former goalkeeper of the Super Eagles, also for Benedict Akwegutu, has also signified his intention. But all by and large, we really hope that someone who understands how football, football administration is. Emerges as president of the NFF this time around.
Sure.
All right, still on the NFF presidency, where in the course of that AGM, actually, Pinnick actually narrowly escaped impeachment because his tenure is supposed to end on the 20th of September, actually, but he had wanted it to, still drag on for a time. But yesterday, some of the members at the General Assembly were so upset with him that they in fact wanted to impeach him at the spot and not even allow his tenure to end, on the 20th. But at a point, he had to appeal to them and all of that. And, a lot of underhand dealings, a lot of things went down. And from that, he said, as I stand before you today, I want to thank the Congress for what they have done for Nigerian football in the last 8 years. I want to leave Congress as one unit the way it was handed to me in 2014. We know we did our best within our means in the last 8 years. Nigerians love football and they don't like to lose, but this is a sport where a winner must emerge and you can't win all the time. For those of you who see that as a reason to hate me, this thing is not against Pinnick. We are demarketing our football. I want to say it here that I'm not going to contest for the NFF president again.
Calling for an impeachment at this time. Yeah. I think I would say that is really unnecessary at this time. 8 years coming, and now just a few weeks to leave office is now you're calling for an impeachment. I think that's really unnecessary. But then whatever it is they have against him, I think now they should all they have to do is, now that they've already fixed the date for the election, they should just keep whatever it is they have against him aside and try to see how they can prepare for the election that is coming, because that should be their utmost priority now, not impeaching him. He only has a few days left in his office, so there's really no need for an impeachment. If you want to impeach him, come on, 8 years.
You don't have done that since.
I think that's really unnecessary at this time.
Completely unnecessary. Away from that, down to the under-23 AFCON qualifiers, where the under-23 team has been handed what you call a relatively easy draw in the draws which held in Cairo yesterday. The under-23 were drawn in the first round and will now face the winner between Tanzania and South Sudan in the second round. If they progress, the under-23 Eagles will face Guinea or Uganda in the final round of the qualifiers. The second round games will come up between October 21st and 30th, 2022, while the final round of qualifiers is slated for March 20 to 28, 2023. And also, the competition will serve as qualifiers for the football event of the Olympic Games in France in 2024. So, on paper, this looks like an easy draw, but you know that sometimes you might think you have an easy draw, but you might just be in for a rude shock.
Yeah, sure. You're absolutely correct. Even before now, we've had a lot of draws that we all called an easy draw, and at the end, it's the results went against us, and we are surprised. Like, come on, how could this have happened? But then it's a game of 11 players. So at this point in football, I really don't see anything. And I really don't see see it necessary labeling any team as or labeling any draw as an easy draw. At this point in time. So I think what the under 23 team just have to do is take every match seriously. But even if the team is called an easy team or whatever it is they call the team, just get that aside and take this team as an opponent, as an opposition, a team that you need to get past to get your goal. You understand? So I really don't see the need for them calling this thing an easy draw. There's really no easy draw in any game, because if you start calling that team an easy draw, it might get into the mentality of the player to say, oh, since this is an easy draw, we have a walkover. So I really don't see that as something to say.
I mean, like, just following up with what you said, because looking at a team like Tanzania, South Sudan, also there's also Guinea and Uganda, and for a country like Guinea, I mean, when it comes to African football, I think they haven't done too badly. Guinea have always been a difficult opposition.
Sure.
So, referring to some of these teams as an easy draw, like rightly Fideli said, I think it might not be totally correct. And
sure.
of course, one interesting thing with these qualifiers is that is also the qualifiers for the Olympics. So recall that in the last Olympic, in the football event, both male and female Nigeria were nowhere to be found. So I mean, all hands must be on deck to ensure that our under 23 makes it to the next Olympics.
Sure. You're absolutely correct.
All right, away from that now to some basketball where the Tigers will open their camp in Abidjan on August 20th. That's tomorrow. Actually, the camp will be open for the second round of the FIBA Basketball World Cup African qualifiers on Saturday, 20th August in Abidjan. The camp, according to Bab Ogunade, who is Vice President of the NBBF, said they are trying to open this camp early in order for players to train together and understand themselves before the third pop build for August. And of course, like he said clearly, although their first match will be next weekend, that's 27, but he said, like, in the first round of the qualifiers where they lost to Cape Verde, he attributed it to the players not coming on camp on time. So there was little time for the players to really understand each other, and they couldn't put up a fantastic performance.
Even though that to an extent that might be a valid excuse, but then no excuse is excuse enough for you to lose. You've lost, just take responsibility for losing. But then his point is a bit valid to say that there is need for the players to get together on time, get to understand each other, and prepare ahead of the game. Considering the fact that most of these players are picked from different different teams and different locations, there is good for them to there's good need for that mutuality among the teams, get to understand each other better. So that's a valid point, and we just hope that there will not be any reason for another excuse after that game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, according to him, said unlike what happened to the team in Kigali, where they had no time to get ready for the first game against Cape Verde, the NBBF wants the players to have time to train together and understand themselves together. He said we are trying to get there earlier to see whether we can have a few practices perform a little higher at a higher level in the first game. In the last week, things were put together at the last second, and we went there right before the first game. Well, the Tigers will take on Guinea on Sunday, August 28th. Well, the team will square up against Angola on 28th, actually. Then the 2023 World Cup will take place from 25th August to 10th September in Japan, Indonesia, and Philippines in 2023. Well, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Stay with us.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that short break. You're still on to Sports Orbit. Now to some foreign news where former United legend Wayne Rooney has come out to tell Kylian Mbappe that you are not in the same rank as Lionel Messi. Recall that in their last game during the weekend, there was an incident on the pitch in which Mbappe had lost a penalty, and when the chance came for another one, while Lionel Messi was walking towards to take the ball, but Mbappe clearly didn't allow him to take it. And of course, his attitude towards Messi in recent times has been, a lot of people have said, is immature. And when Rooney has said, look, at your age, at 23, Messi had won about 2 or 3 Ballon d'Ors already. So you are still a rising star. So you are not up to that. You might be a big player, but you are way far below when it comes to football, comparing you and Lionel Messi.
No, I saw the trend on Twitter some days back, and I was like, "Come on, Mbappe, what is happening?" I think for the youngster, last season really got into his head, and with what is happening, I think Rooney is one in a very good position to tell him how it is, because at that age, 23, Lionel Messi has already lifted four Ballon d'Or, and now just because he has one World Cup, and no, I think that's the height of disrespect, That's the height of disrespect. Even if you have anything against Lionel Messi, I think his career and his record is enough to humble you, So even age difference, the difference is not just 1 or 2 years. Come on, you should show this man the respect he deserves. This is the face of football in recent time. So you shouldn't disrespect such a person. And I think there is no better way to remind him than the way Wayne Rooney has put it, because even if you look at the achievements of Wayne Rooney, the kind of goals Rooney scored, come on, no, Mbappe shouldn't even do this. No, this is not the right time for him to be coming up with such attitude, because it's really going to affect his career. It's going to affect his career. If you say, I think yesterday also, I even saw the trend on Twitter where people were saying, sell Mbappe, sell Mbappe.
Exactly.
So at this point, he really doesn't need it in his career. Lionel Messi, one I know is a very humble person. You are a striker. Messi is ready to supply you the ball. any day, anytime. As long as he has it, be in the right position, he will supply you the ball. You score your goal. He's not dragging goal scoring with you. Last season, most of the goals Mbappe scored, him and Messi, they combined very well.
Exactly.
In fact, people were like, wow, the Messi-Mbappe relationship is so strong. They combined so well. Even most of the goals that Messi scored, Mbappe was the assist for those goals. So I really don't see any reason for this at this point in time. Maybe because PSG really took him seriously at that point when he was saying he wanted to go to Real Madrid. They gave him so many offers. Try to hold him on a platter of gold, like we'll give you everything almost the whole team just for him to stay. Maybe that's what actually got into his head. But then you don't disrespect Lionel Messi. No, not for any reason
at all. I agree with you completely. Like you rightly said, the contract, I think, is what's getting to his head, because you give a player a contract to the point where you even give him the option of being able to even select the team. Even being able to even select a coach he wants to coach the team. I think that's too much.
That's too much.
Part to give to a player who hasn't really achieved much, if you must ask me, in his career.
Aside the World Cup, he hasn't played in any major league. Aside the French league, where he's been the top goal scorer. He hasn't won the Champions League. I think the best he's done in the Champions League is the semi-final. So semi-final. He hasn't even gone to the final, and now you are disrespecting someone who has seven Ballon d'Or. Come on, no.
All right, away from that now to some transfer news. That's from England, where United are close to agreeing a deal in the region of £59.2 million for Real Madrid midfielder Casemiro. United are set to pay the Spanish giants an initial £50.7 million with £8.5 million in add-ons, while the Brazilian has a 4-year contract with the option of further 12 months at Old Trafford on the table. So, 2 days ago, the story started making the round. Seemed like a rumor initially, but as of yesterday evening, it was confirmed that yes, United and Madrid have agreed the fee. And interestingly, Madrid had agreed the fee, but they said it was up to the player. And yesterday, the player said he needed time to speak with his coach. And when he spoke with the coach, he told the coach that clearly he wants a new challenge and he's open to the move. So I think the move is happening very fast.
For United, I think what's really happening there now is very critical, and going for Casemiro, in my opinion, I really don't see any better option.
Exactly.
Than Casemiro,
especially in a position where United have been lacking for a long time.
That is position. Going forward is there, defense is there. The guy is so good at his job, and I think it's a very good signing for United. But the challenge now would be, would he wanna leave Madrid to a team that is playing in the Europa League? And also he has to consider, because if he leaves Madrid now, considering his age and his achievements, if he leaves Madrid now, goes to United, and things doesn't play out the way he expects, that could be the end of his career. You understand? So I think he has to weigh those options. But United signing Casemiro, it would be a very good signing for him. And I think this is the kind of person United needs at this point in time.
Right away from that now to some EPL fixtures, of course. Match week 3 is upon us, and we'll take a look at some interesting games that will go down this weekend in the EPL. Of course, the biggest game of match week 3 will be Liverpool United, but that comes up on Monday, actually. So if we have those fixtures, we might as well take a look at those fixtures. But of course, standout fixture, United, Liverpool, two teams who are yet to record any win in this new season so far.
Yeah, the both of them are yet to record any win, but then I think Liverpool still stand a better chance. I think their first game ended in a draw.
Yeah, 2-2 draw. Yeah, second game 1-1 draw against.
1-1 draw.
First game 2-2 against Southampton. Second game 1-1 against Palace. Well, for United lost 2 games.
Two losses. So I think Liverpool they are still, as it stands, they are still a better team than United. They still have a well-organized house than United, which are still struggling to see how they can put their players together. And that match will be very, to be a very crucial match for United. Going minus 9 points in the first three games. That will really be good for them in the long run, as long as this season is concerned. So no matter what they do, they have to make sure that they at least gets any points, even if it's half or one. Even if it's half or one, they just need to get something out of that game. At least that will give them a start in boosting their morale and their confidence ahead of other matches and to come. And for Liverpool, they already have 2 points, but then they would like to make it 5 because they can't start struggling at this stage in the season. So I think that would be a very tight match for the two teams, because one would definitely want to win, and which of course one team has to win and get that 3 points complete.
Well, for Liverpool, a few injury worries and suspension. Of course, their new striker Nunes has been banned for 3 matches after that red card in that match against Crystal Palace, while Diego Jota is also out with injury. Also, Roberto Firmino is also out injured for that one. So clearly, the only point man we have in that game is Salah, and to some extent, Luis Diaz. Not forgetting that you don't no longer have a Sadio Mane again.
Sure, they don't have a Sadio Mane. I think that actually that's one of the things that's telling on the Liverpool team now, because there was that smooth relationship between Firmino, Sadio Mane, and Salah. Play 90 minutes, no how one of them must give you that goal to win that match. And now Sadio Mane is gone, and Salah would have to be playing from the wing now. You don't really have that smooth striker that can always put the ball in for you. I think that's one of the things that is affecting Liverpool. But then, no matter how bad Liverpool is at this point in time, in my opinion, though, I really don't see a Liverpool team that will be worse than a Brighton that cannot beat Man U. If Brighton could give Man U is it Brighton? Yeah, if they could give Man U a 4-0 win, I think Liverpool still stands a chance to beat the same Man United team at this time.
But sometimes football is not always like that.
Football changes, but it changes. But then the Man United team is really not so organized at this time to give Liverpool that huge challenge Liverpool could expect.
All right, we'll see how that pans out. That match comes up on Monday. Other interesting matches will be going down during the weekend. And of course, tomorrow also, Nigeria's own Anthony Joshua will be in action once again against Alexander Usyk in that long-awaited rematch in Saudi Arabia. And Joshua will be hoping to go all out he's been sounding very confident, said he's going to do everything possible to reclaim all of his belts. Do you think Joshua will be able to reclaim his belts?
Surely, I think he will be able to claim his belt, but then I think he shouldn't be overconfident and get complacent with his opponent. Even though he's a very good boxer. Our other man at this time is doing it at the other
UFC,
end, in the UFC.
Also together with Kamaru also. So
Kamaru too as well.
I think Kamaru too will be fighting, I think tomorrow or early hours of Sunday.
I think that's enough to give him the confidence he needs. Like, man, my colleagues are doing it out there, so this is the time for me to also represent and do it. So we wish him all the best and hope he gets to win that competition and reclaim all his titles.
Right, quickly to other EPL matches, it will be Tottenham Hotspur, Wolverhampton. First kickoff, Crystal Palace will be at home to Aston Villa. 2 former players will be going head-to-head, talking about Patrick Vieira and Steven Gerrard. Everton will be at home to Nottingham Forest, which has our own Nigeria's Taiwo Awoniyi and Emmanuel Dennis in that one. Fulham against Brentford, while Southampton will travel to the King Power Stadium to confront Leicester City. Bournemouth will welcome Arsenal, while Chelsea will be away to Leeds United. In the other matches, West Ham United will welcome Brighton and Hove, while the last match on Sunday will see Newcastle United welcome champions Man City at the St. James Park this weekend. So, interesting matches to look forward to in the course of this weekend. Also, Anthony Joshua will be in action. The Falconers will be in action also on Sunday. So, a whole lot of sporting events to watch out for this weekend. And hopefully on Monday, we'll come back, give you a complete rundown as they happen. Fidelis, once again, thank you for being in the studio after a long while.
It's my pleasure.
Right, until come your way again on Monday with another exciting edition. Stay safe out there. My name is Alpha Cho, and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.